أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. Madam Chair, Commissioners, Lead Council, Council, viewers and listeners, good morning and welcome back to our daily proceeding of this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and related matters. For our next item on our today's agenda, I have the honor to yield the floor to Madam Chair. Madam Chair, over to you.
Auzu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. I would call on Honorable Sila to lead us in Muslim prayers and Honorable Joyner to lead us in Christian prayers. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghayril maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Dear Lord, you are our strength and our hope and our joy. We need you all the time, especially in this commission. Protect our families, friends, and everyone we associate with. I pray that your hand will never stop helping us through the difficult times in our lives. May you remove our pain, worries, and problems and replace them with health, happiness, and peace. All this we ask through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Good morning, Mr. Witness.
Thank you.
Mr. Witness, thank you for sitting down.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have the honor to welcome you back and to remind you that you are still under oath for continuation of your testimony before this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and related matters.
Okay.
I now hand you over to Madam Chair for us to proceed. Madam Chair, over to you.
Mr. Jallow, good morning.
Good morning, Ma.
You're welcome back.
Thank you, Ma.
I do hope you had your breakfast.
Well, thank you.
Does that mean yes or no? I just want to know
I had my
whether you were served with breakfast
yeah, they did, but I had my breakfast earlier.
earlier. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ma.
Council, we may proceed.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson. Good morning, Honorable Commissioners. Good morning, Mr. Jallow.
Good morning.
Yes, we were discussing the 2019 National Audit Report for Brikama Area Council, correct?
Correct.
I had asked you to be given a copy yesterday. Do you have a copy with you now?
No, I don't.
May I humbly ask that the witness be given a copy of the 2019 National Audit Report from the Brikama Area Council?
Thank you.
Yes, on page 13,
The issues regarding asset register.
Yes.
Are we there?
13.
13.
No, I have for 13 only as signatures for Mr. Jeng and Jonga.
You don't have 13?
I have 13, but just what you are saying.
Let me see the one.
Counsel, can I avail my copy to the witness?
Yes, I'll be grateful.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mr. Jallow, it is the way it has been printed.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. Thank you, Madam Chairperson. Do you have incomplete asset register 2.7 on page 13?
Yes, yes.
Good. Now, tell us, how were you keeping the assets of the area council? How were you recording these assets?
Now, when we started to open asset register,
Yes. When was this?
I can't recall, but it was a concern raised, I think, by the audit. Then we didn't have an asset register, I think.
Yes.
And then we started to update the register based on the assets we have.
Now, the finding is that the asset register reveals that the register was available, but it was not adequately maintained, as most relevant details were left blank.
That's
so, for instance, you must have the specific asset that is acquired or that you have in the area council, date of acquisition, cost, location. So all those relevant details must be present so that you can trace the assets of the area council. Is that not
very well? I think if I see the assets register, then we will be, because maybe it's as a result of the fact that it's not updated.
Why would it not be updated?
That is a shortcoming from.
So if you have 100 motorbikes,
yes,
and you can't account for them, so it will be easy for anyone to just take these bikes and then take it to their homes and so on.
That's correct. That's correct.
Now, 14, you have issued incomplete personal files. Personal files.
Yes.
Are you there?
Yes, of course.
Now, Junior Damasi, the establishment register, was it complete?
It was periodically updated.
What do you mean periodically updated?
Yeah, depending on the information you have to be filled in. Or
do you have some issues of ghost workers?
ghost workers? No, I don't know.
You don't have that?
No.
Now, it says that we require two. So, turn to last pages.
Last page.
Around 40, and it still should be 45 also.
Which page?
Next two.
Which
Page, okay, page 49. 49.
Okay.
You have the names of employees,
Yes.
and the details in the file.
Yes.
And it says incomplete profile of no one Ndai,
Yes.
no application of offer, no birth certificate,
That's
no
correct.
qualification certificate, well, sorry, let me get on back. You have application of there's no birth certificate.
Yes, that's correct.
Fanta Maro, no birth certificate.
That's correct.
It's like Lamin Susu.
So that's correct.
How comes Lamin you can't find birth certificate?
Well, maybe he has not submitted his birth certificate, or he didn't have one.
Ali Jeng,
Alhaji Jeng.
there is no substantial record of qualification inside in the file, only a level 2 certificate attached.
Maybe that's all he had then.
Maybe that's all he had.
Yes.
Babuka Maka, no birth certificate.
Correct.
Banding City, no birth certificate, no verification.
Correct.
The same person and Ibrahim Jamia.
That's correct.
If they have to die, what will happen?
Well, that will be a problem. But most of these shortcuts, they were all there before I came to the office. So
true, very true. But that doesn't mean you should correct it.
absolutely, very well.
What should you have done?
We should have made sure that all this.
You have the inspection committee, no?
Inspection committee, yes.
Why won't you? Why if they are effective and efficient enough? Why can't they solve problems?
Well, it should have been solved to be very frank, because there is a establishment committee, and the admin department definitely could have made progress on this.
On 18, we have issue on presented documents. 18. Okay. I read the report of the audit. It says, during inspection at the council, the following documents were up to the time of writing this query. They are presented for audit inspection. See the list of documents. So you have disaster plan, IT policy manual, not present. Training policy, not present. You don't have a training policy?
No, we don't.
You don't have an IT manual?
IT was a very young unit when I was leaving.
Activity report?
Activity report, we should definitely have. That should be there.
It should be there.
Well, I think so. I don't know what type of activity it's talking about. Sorry.
I don't know. You're the CEO.
Yes, but
activity report, I think the name should speak for itself.
Yes, I agree. But if you say activity report only,
what comes to mind when you see activity report?
I don't know.
You don't carry any activities in the area council?
Well, if that is the case, the activities of the council in general.
Go ahead.
The activities of the council in general, if that is what it's referring to.
Should, in my mind as well.
I don't think we have that.
Database of procurement made for the period under review. You know, you're supposed to submit your monthly returns. But here he's talking about even having the information with respect to the procurement activities conducted in a given period. In this case, 2019.
That should have been provided by the procurement.
Provided by you.
Yeah, you know, this didn't find me in office. This report
didn't have to find you in office.
Yeah, but the responses and the reactions and so forth.
It's saying you don't even have the database.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. We don't have.
The responses is one. It's just one limb of the whole point. The entire issue is the fact that you don't even have it in place.
Yes.
That's the point. For 2019, these were not in place.
Yes. That's
procurement plan. You know, we will deal with the procurement compliance reviews for 2019. But there was no procurement plan as well.
No, I don't think.
Why won't you have a procurement plan?
We should have had.
I know.
It's a requirement.
That's why I'm asking you, why would you not have a procurement plan? If you don't have a procurement plan, how were you conducting procurement activities?
We were just, how to call it, procuring, depending on the need.
It was more or less like an authoritarian regime. People decide what they want to do and how they want to do it, Mr. Jallow, correct?
Well,
The area councils, they were mainly run in that form. Probably it's not your fault. Probably it's what you find in the system for a very long period of time.
Absolutely, I am happy for that. I am really happy for that. I would have wished that all these things are in order. But, you know, as the saying goes, in as much as other people who are responsible
Right.
directly of other things. My responsibility is overall supervision and administration and management.
You have a lot of power as CEO.
Well, I do, but well, not totality in totality.
No, I'm just saying even by the law, you have a lot of power in relation to how you conduct your supervisory role.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I have to accept the fact that, you know, maybe I had my shortcomings in, you know, ensuring that some of these things happen.
We understand that. We are all human. I just want to understand as to what were the main issues that will really make it difficult for you to perform your functions as CEO. What would you say?
Well, it was a difficult situation at that time, to be very frank, and you know, getting everything in order was our ambition. It was our wish. It was our will.
Again, why was it difficult? We want to understand the situation. Why was it difficult? Give us examples. If I want to try and do X, why will just jump from nowhere and make it difficult for me? Give us examples. If not,
the example I can give is maybe lack of capacity.
That's one.
Well, that in itself.
That's one.
Yes.
Lack of capacity is one.
Yes, and if we say capacity, it's both. You know.
But if you don't follow procurement plan, that is not lack of capacity. If you don't have a procurement plan, that is not lack of capacity, right? That's different from lack of capacity. Then you don't have it, you don't follow it, but you still conduct procurement.
Yes.
And making every procurement illegal or unlawful, well, in my opinion, because you don't have a procurement plan. The law says you must have a procurement plan.
We don't have.
That is not lack of capacity, is it?
It could be.
It could be lack of capacity. How?
Lack of capacity could play a part.
Please increase your voice.
Yes, I am saying that lack of capacity could play a part, if not in totality, but.
How? How?
Well, you don't have capacity, you cannot do it. It's as simple as that.
You cannot.
If you don't have capacity, you cannot do it.
You cannot formulate a plan.
You don't have the knowledge base and so forth and so forth.
And who will you say lacks that knowledge base?
Starting from myself.
Well, I don't want to say that. I think you have.
Yeah, but I can say it.
No, Mr. Jallow, I think in all fairness, I think you have the experience.
I do, but I don't want to shift any blame on anybody.
No.
I am saying that the lack of capacity may have started from myself.
Okay, fine. Let's take it. But I'm saying, I don't agree with you. I'm saying that you have sufficient knowledge to know and come up with a plan. All you had to do was just to make sure that it's an inclusive job, that everyone takes part.
Okay, all right.
You have worked for area council for so many years.
Okay.
Procurement plan would not be a problem, would it?
Well, it couldn't. I have already said that, you know, it may be lack of capacity. And since we didn't have it, you know, the error is on our part.
So you don't have a quarterly revenue and expenditure report? Why wouldn't you have that? Would that also be lack of capacity?
No, we don't have that.
Why?
Well, we don't have it. We don't have. I don't have.
Why?
I can't explain why, but we don't have it anyway.
As CEO, you were supposed to have a report of your
I
quarterly revenue.
I agree.
And expenditure.
I agree in totality.
What is the purpose of this report?
Yeah, the purpose of the report is to highlight whatever, you know, they find on the ground, which is not in order, or and so forth and so forth.
To highlight the financial activity in a month.
Yes.
In a given period.
Yes.
And that you cannot do?
No, we have not done.
No, but you cannot do it?
We have not done it anyway.
Could it have been done?
Yeah, it could have been done.
and you had the capacity to do it?
Well, I think in that it could be at the level of the finance department.
Was there the capacity to do it?
Well, it should be done by the finance department, headed by the director.
Was there the capacity to do it?
Well, I cannot definitely say that they have the capacity, because that will go to explain their qualification and so forth, which I don't definitely know.
Was there a capacity to provide a quarterly revenue and expenditure report in 2019? It's a direct question. It requires a direct answer.
Well,
especially from one of the biggest offices in the area council in 2019, the CEO's office. We want to know, what is your own position? Was there a capacity to provide a quarterly revenue and expenditure report, or there was no capacity to provide?
Well, I think there should be the ability to do it.
There should be the ability to do it.
The ability to do it.
You're still not answering the question. Do you realize that? You're still not answering the question. You should know what you have, your staff.
Yes, but I said there should be the ability to do it.
So the capacity was there.
Yes.
So why then did you not have the report?
They should be able to do it.
Why then did you not have the report?
Well, it's an error on our part.
Error on?
It's an error on our part, please.
Mr. Jallow, I know you are getting frustrated. You don't have to get frustrated.
No, I'm not frustrated. You see,
I know.
If
I were in your position, Mr. Jallow.
No. I just want us to be clear. If you give me a close-ended question, you're requesting a close-ended answer. So I just give you a close-ended answer. You don't need an explanation.
Let me take that back.
Okay, please.
So if I ask a close-ended question, you don't have to give me a close-ended answer.
Okay.
You can just answer the way you want to answer.
Please.
All we need is your answer to be honest.
No problem.
Which I know you seek to do.
Very well.
So don't mind the question. Just give an honest answer to the question if you understand the question. If you don't understand the question,
yes,
just tell me.
Absolutely.
Is that okay?
Absolutely. Very well.
Now, by the way, were there mining activities in the area council in 2019?
Mining activities?
Yes.
No. Oh, sorry. There were mining activities, but we were not a beneficiary to the proceeds.
Why were you not a beneficiary?
Well, that has been a problem for quite a long time. We have fought, and taken a lot of avenues to get this sand mining in particular.
Tell us about the mining activities. And what you have done.
There are two, sand and gravel.
Sand and gravel?
Yes, please.
Okay,
yes.
And then these activities were going on in Brikama area council?
Yes, initially, way back in the 90s, we used to benefit. In fact, we used to collect. Now, at some point, it was transferred to geology. We tried as much as possible as we can, to at least get a share, since it is resources within our jurisdiction.
Yes.
But to no avail.
Okay. So you're saying mainly you don't benefit at all in this?
Until when I was leaving.
Until you left?
Until I left. I don't know what had happened after I left, but until I left, there was nothing that we received.
Any questions regarding the mining activity?
Yes. Mr. Jallow, were you aware that it is by legislation that the collection of revenue was not given to you, but it was situated at geology?
Now, going by the regulations, my understanding and of course the laws is the fact that the council has a right to.
Now, is there any possibility for you to refer us to the law that says the mining activities that are being conducted within the council's jurisdictions, they are supposed to be entitled to it? Is there anything in the Local Government Act or in any other legislation? Because listening to what you said you tried to get government to make sure that they give you part of the proceeds.
Yes.
You know, that they were earning from, you understand, these activities such as the mining of gravel and sand within the council's jurisdiction. Now, whilst you were pursuing that request to government, was there any legislation that is limiting you not to have that opportunity given to you by government?
It will be difficult for me to highlight that, you know, from the legal point of view. That's the legislations and so forth and so. But what I do know,
I just wanted to know generally, because if you said you have engaged the government,
yes,
they must have given you reason why you should not have proceeds of the mining activity. When those activities are done within your jurisdictions and they have implications,
yes,
you understand, within the jurisdiction. So that is why I'm saying, whilst you were doing that engagement, did they refer to you any legislation? Did they tell you this is why we cannot give you as a council to benefit from these activities?
No, there has I can't recall any correspondence that from either sides.
Okay.
To be very frank.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Council, come on.
Any question?
Good morning, Mr. Jallow.
Good morning, Commissioner.
I am indeed baffled by your answers of the incapacity of the staff under your supervision. Let's take, for example, the quarterly revenue and expenditure report. You have stated that the finance department are capable of producing this report. You have been there for almost 2 years or more. The first month that they did not produce this report, what was your reaction?
Well, I didn't engage them.
Sorry?
I didn't engage them. I didn't ask for the quarterly report.
And you did not ask them until up to when you were leaving the council?
Until when I left, to be very frank, I didn't ask for it.
Is that a good supervision?
That is not.
Okay. Because from Annex 2 that we just looked at, both Mr. Lamin Suso, who was an assistant in the finance department, did not, sorry, Alaji Jeng, who is the director, never had qualifications to support his position. And so too was Babanding Seydi Khan. It says here, no qualification. You have been there for 3 years. Did you make any effort? Because this is one of the things that you should have as a supervisory officer, to look all of these documents and to make informed decisions or to pass informed recommendation to the chairperson, as you are the second highest person, or to even convene a meeting where some of these shortfalls would have been addressed or asked to be addressed. Because from what I have seen in the page that the council has just talked about, I think it's on page 18 or 19, there was this response from the council that it says here, I think it's unpresented checks. Sorry, I'm trying to find the right section. But the thing that I'm alluding to is, it was stated that the director of admin will regularize this in 2021.
The acting director of admin?
Yes.
Would regularize these things in 2021?
Some of these problems, like the certificates, the incomplete files, and all of these things. And the other one, the director of finance.
Okay.
Now, you must have received this report, didn't you?
No, this report came when I already left the office.
And in their exit meeting, you were there?
That's what I'm saying. The
report could have met, you have left.
Yes.
But when they were exiting this audit, you were there?
Yes, I was there.
Now, and didn't they highlight some of these things?
No. Specifically, no. It only came, through the report.
Because the reason why, if a recommendation comes from the auditors, it is expected that management will take time and dish out to the respective departments some of the recommendations by the auditors.
Very well.
And my question here was, did you ever have this done?
In the first place, issues of staff recruitment and appointment are not the responsibility of the council.
No, we are not talking about recruitment and appointment. I'm talking about those that are there.
Those that are there were already...
Didn't you share the concerns raised by the auditors to those who are there? Like the director of finance, the director of admin.
For their qualification?
No, not for their qualification,
okay.
But for not doing their job.
Of course, on so many occasions we did that, even if not for this one, which I was not in office, but the previous ones, like for example 2018 and before. We always, as I said yesterday, we share the audit report, and at one point we come together, look at it and look at the issues. The ones that affect anybody, would definitely require.
But you see, from this report, it seems as if it was an ongoing
yes,
thing. So if you were there in 2019,
yes,
you must have resolved that of 2018. But it did not show that here.
Yeah, I think, Commissioner, you are right. In fact, I think this, the one you are just talking of, is a one-off. There are a lot of other issues that have been coming over the years, to be very frank. All right? And we found it very difficult, to correct as it should have. Even if...
You see, my problem here, Mr. Jallow, is that you came, you met the status quo, and you continued with the status quo.
Well, we didn't...
without doing any serious intervention to stop the status quo from behaving the way it has been behaving.
Commissioner, to be very frank, it has been very difficult during those time, to, do certain things. I had my experience in the area councils.
Sorry?
I had my bitter experiences in the area councils. And towards the end of my tenure in office, to be very frank, I thought I need to relax.
You don't want to ruffle feathers?
Of course, because there was no point. I said it, one man cannot fight a battle. Okay. I had my experiences where I was suspended for two years for just not doing anything. And then again, I was suspended for 7 years, which eventually landed me into court, just on an audit report. So, when I came back to Brikama, in as much as I wanted to ensure that, things change, because I cannot claim ignorance, complete ignorance of how area councils, by virtue of my educational background, I can't. I have studied governance and development management at the University of Birmingham. That's one. So that in itself has given me the opportunity to know how governance, local governance in particular, should work. That is one. Two, I have been in the system for 40 years, during which I have been CEO for 25 years. So I cannot, and I have been part of most of the documents, the legal and procedural documents that have been prepared. But in as much as you know, as an individual, you just try your bit, and that's it. So it is very difficult for me, to at all times to say no. I just say no when, it's difficult. I know where the commission is going and the aims and the objectives. So what you are saying is definitely very right. We should have done something to, to correct the situation, because most of these issues were coming in almost all the audit reports.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, yes.
Mr. Jallow, let us just discuss. Let me just add on to what Council have been asking you about the mining.
Okay.
You mentioned that there is sand and gravel mining.
Yes.
But it's not two, it's three. There is also the heavy mining. The heavy mining is where the digital dredging machine is used to go deep.
Yes.
To get the zircon.
Yes.
Or you call it black sand locally.
Yes, yes.
Now, in this zircon, you have fruitile, you have ilmenite, and you have some other materials which is used to do laptops and, mobile telephones.
Of course, of course.
But again, you have to look at the Mining and Quarrying Act. You guys have no role in that act. Everything is been moved to geology.
Yeah.
Even to rehabilitate the mining sites after the close of the mines, you have to deposit a bond of $30,000 from a bank in case you don't rehabilitate it. That is where the Minister of Environment and Geology would come and have to do the rehabilitation. Just to explain to you that.
I know where you're coming from, Commissioner. And thank you for that intervention. In fact, for what I was trying just to explain, that's why I didn't go that deep. I was just talking about the sand and the gravel. And in fact, as you have just alluded to, that is the reality. Before the enactment of the geology, we used to collect. But when the thing turned around, we found it difficult. But whatever may happen, we are just trying our chance to see whether we will be able to have at least some part of the resources. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for the intervention.
Now, Mr. Jallow, I think
yes, ma'am.
We are all on the same page. Let me just begin by noting what you said earlier, that the challenges you had. I am of the firm belief that if people are appointed to positions and you found a system that is very rotten and bad, and given the fact that you have just said that you had training in governance, yes, it's difficult because you have to think about your family because you are a breadwinner.
Absolutely.
You don't want to be choked out. But if everybody has to take that posture, do you think we as a people in this country, we will move to the next level in building this country?
That will be very
where the meager resources we have, we will not leave it in the hands of vultures that will do what they want to do with these resources and they will get away with it. And because you don't want to offend anybody, you don't want to also see yourself begging. In other words, not having suitable form of income to take care of your family. If all of us have to think that way, you think it will be right?
No.
As a people?
No, ma. And that would not take us anywhere.
And I believe also you were misguided in your thinking, because even whereas you cannot fight a whole system, but you could provide evidence for tomorrow. When these things were happening, you're right. Even whereas you cannot beat the system, but records will show that you wanted to do something and you did something by putting pen on paper. For instance, yesterday, council asked you, there are some people that were found wanting in collection of tax. And if you even look at the report that we were dealing with, you could see, and you knew, because you have the CRBR register with you at the office, right? And this is where the GTRs are recorded when they are being issued to the collectors. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
And you do realize that those GTRs, the collectors will not use those GTRs to issue out receipts to tax collectors. And this was picked up by the forensic audit that they did and the audits that they were doing over the years in Brikama. So what this tells you is that the personnel in Brikama Area Council produces their own receipt books and go to the taxpayers and collect tax and collect revenue.
Absolutely.
Because GTRs were issued to them.
Yes.
When there was a random audit done to check the GTRs against the CRBR, they realized that those GTRs cannot be traced to the different collectors that are within the jurisdiction and are collecting tax.
That's correct. That's correct.
Is that not correct?
That's correct, ma'am.
Yes.
That's correct.
And the other thing I have noted, and which is a trend for the people that are appearing before this commission, they are misguided by the fact that we don't know much about local governance, and they will not want to divulge much because they don't want to implicate themselves, which is a wrong perception for somebody to come and sit there and believe that. All right? And the reason why I ask you the legislation is because I know you know that you are supposed to be given 40%. Is that not correct?
That's
Under
correct.
the Geology Act?
That's correct.
But you said you did not know, which I know you know. So I'm just trying to let you know that if you are honest and forthcoming in your evidence, you understand, that will be more helpful to you. Because you will be stating it as it is. Because who is on the ground, you don't fear to fall. Am I not correct?
That's correct. That's
so
correct.
you have already retired.
That's correct.
So why wouldn't you state the facts as you know them? When I ask you a question, I know what the answer is. But I need you to give the evidence to this commission for us to understand that that is what is actually happening.
That's correct. That's correct.
So people should not come here, sit here with a misguided concept that they wouldn't know and they wouldn't ask me. Okay. When they ask you a question, answer it as honestly as you can.
Yeah. Okay.
All right?
All right.
Thank you. Because even if you did not receive the proceeds from geology, that 40% that they ought to have given you, we will find out. And when we find out, if geology doesn't pay you, geology will have to pay Brikama Area Council from 2018 to date, whatever dalasi that they did not pay to Brikama Area Council, they will pay it. Because they are supposed to pay it. It is not me saying it, it is the law that is saying it. And we will make sure that the law is implemented. All right?
Yeah.
So that is just the case.
I may have forgotten the 40%, to be very frank. When you said it, it just came back to my mind.
Okay.
And again, in addition, sorry, ma, I just wanted to say that, the situation with regards to the collectors, with regards to them tampering with the receipts and getting receipts from other places,
yes,
was the reason why we tried to introduce the machine. Because we thought over the years.
And sorry, before you proceed, the machine was introduced during your era?
Yes, the machine was, it didn't start actually during my era, but, the whole initiation started during my era. But,
so the collection did not start by using...
No, it didn't start immediately. It started immediately when I left.
Then, did you read the 2019 audit report?
2019?
Yes.
No, I am just seeing it. So
you've never had the opportunity of reading the final audit report as then CEO?
No. When it was coming, in fact, if you look at page, I didn't sign it. It was the current CEO who signed it. Which page is it again? Okay, that's on page 13, this one. All right?
Okay.
So then I had already left.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Council, you may proceed.
Jallow, on page Please turn to page 19 of the National Audit for 2019 report. Are we together?
Yes, we are.
It is the issue with respect to Treasurer's GTR used for collecting trade license. That's 3.2. It says, examination of revenue administration revealed that GTR books that are intended for Treasurer's use only were used for collecting trade license. Now, what is Treasurer's GTR?
The Treasurer's GTR, my understanding is that it's used to record collections made by the collectors.
Yes. And the cashier? No?
Yes, yeah, the collectors and the cashier.
Yes.
You know, the collectors are supposed to pass through the cashier.
Cashier, yes.
At normal circumstances, that is the arrangement. When they come, they submit to the cashier.
Yes.
And eventually the cashier will liaise with the
Treasurer.
With the treasurer or the director of finance.
Now, is it correct to have the Treasurer's GTR being used for collecting revenue, like trade license?
I can't recall what the regulation says, but at normal circumstances, it should not happen.
Exactly. It's not like what the regulation says. You had already explained the process.
Yes, that's the process.
You've already explained that the GTR used by the revenue collectors or the cashier is not the same with the one used by the treasurer. Correct?
Yeah, the treasurer's receipt book definitely should be used to, register collections from the cashier. The cashier in particular.
Now, why will you have an amount of 60,613,728.50 bucks collected using the Treasurer's GTR? It says in the implication, there is a risk that the used GTRs might not be accounted for. Do you think that is a fair assessment?
Oh, the page you're quoting is 21, not so.
Yes, 19, you have the implication.
I have it.
Then you turn to 21.
I have it on 21, yes. Now, this may be as a result of other collections, which are not collected, other revenues which are not collected or don't pass through the revenue collectors. Like, for example, if government is to pay council, or if other institutions are to pay council, sometimes the director of finance himself collects those monies by check, and in most it's always in check.
So 3.4 is more or less like a continuation. You will see it says that during the audit, collections amounting to 60 million.
Yes.
613,728.50 is seen to be posted in the cash book.
Yes.
But there was no deposit slip presented.
Yes.
To confirm if these amounts were banked, see Annex 3 for details. So now just turn to Annex 3.
Annex 3 is on page what?
Is it 48? No, 50.
50.
Yes.
Yes.
You will see on the 6th of April 2019, the name is Treasurer's Use.
Yes.
Is that the Treasurer's GTR?
Yes. That normally it is referred to as the Treasurer's Use.
FIB operational fees?
Yes.
220,000.
Yes. That's a bank payment.
Bank payment.
The bank is paying its operational fee.
Okay. You have the next one, the same date.
Yes.
$95,000 is operational fees.
Yes.
It's not bank payment, is it? You also have $55,000 is being sundry trade license. 61,000 West African Gaming Company.
Yes.
Sundry trade license 211,000.
Yes.
Again, the same company also $336,450.
Yes.
And the list goes on.
Yes.
But then that's why I link this to the previous finding that there were GTRs meant for the treasurer used to collect revenue.
No, well.
Do you see that?
Yes, if you say meant, is is taken from the GTR, the CRBR. But when it is signed in the name of the Director of Finance or the Treasurer, it should purposely be used for, collecting revenue direct from either from the cashier or revenue collectors. But in this case, I think it should be the cashier. But apart from that, it uses his GTR to collect revenue coming from institutions, as we have seen.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's wrong. That's what we are saying. There's a GTR proposed for that.
So what is correct? Who is supposed to collect it?
When the revenue collectors collect revenue,
Yes.
Before the advent or the introduction of the machine, the POS machines, they were using GTRs, were they not?
Yes, they were. Yes.
Yes?
They were using GTRs. Yes.
Exactly. And then they will now, after using GTR, they will now retire that with the cashier.
Yes.
Correct?
That's correct.
And then the cashier will have to do the retirement with the treasurer.
With the Director of Finance. Yes.
Yes, with the head of finance
Yes.
office. Is that not the case?
That is.
In which case, he or she will be given a GTR.
Yes.
Representing the collections.
Yes.
Now, the other issue regarding that is not only where the wrong GTRs used, but most of the deposit slips were not present. They were not presented for the purpose of audit on page 21.
Yes.
Now, you turn to page 22, you will see the response from the management. It reads, are you there? Management response.
I think I'm a page. Okay, read it. I think I'm a page in advance. I have it on page 23. Management
Response.
Yes.
It says the deposit slips for all monies banked are available for your review. Do you see that?
Let me look at it again. I've not seen the management response.
Have you seen the unpresented deposit slips for 60 million plus?
60 million, yes. I have it on page. Sorry, I have it on page 21. 21.
21, yes,
Yes.
exactly. Now on 22, you will see the response.
The 40. Yes, management. Yes.
Correct.
Yes, I see.
Management said that they have presented all these deposit slips and the monies have been banked. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Now there was an auditor's for a comment which reads, contrary to the claim in the management response, only total value of $16,583,900. Let me take that again. $16,583,981.74 bututs in deposits was traced from the records provided. This leaves a remaining balance of $44,029,746.76 bututs. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, I do.
What does that mean?
I do. That the 44 million and 29,746 dollars do not have bank evidence of bank slips.
It is still outstanding.
Yes.
So it cannot be accounted for.
Yes.
Do you see that?
Yes. But I do believe that it's already paid into the bank.
Let's not believe that. Let us not believe that. Mr. Jallow, you cannot just believe. We don't. I'm sure you will agree with me that if we don't run the institutions based on trust or belief or an understanding that things will be done. Is that not the case?
That's correct. But my understanding here, Council, is that as I was explaining,
yes.
maybe it is how to call it?
No maybes.
It's an error on the side of the Director of Finance, because I'm pretty sure that these monies have already been paid.
No.
So why not obtain the bank slips?
Mr. You as CEO, how would you ensure that monies are paid? Tell me.
How do I ensure that?
Monies are paid.
That
monies received
by bank slip, yeah. If it is paid to the bank.
As CEO, what should you do to make sure that your institution is not used by employees to run a very massive fraudulent scheme.
Yeah, but these bank slips are not brought to my office. They are not supposed to come
They
to
don't
my.
have to be brought to your office. You wait for anyone to bring bank slips to your office. They will not bring it to your office.
Yes,
You
but
know
that's why they are not supposed to bring it to my office.
They are supposed to.
No, they are not supposed to.
Yes.
They are not supposed to.
What is supposed to be done?
It is supposed to be at the Treasury, at the Directorate of Finance.
And where do you come in as CEO?
What do you mean by where do I come in?
Where do you come in to make sure these monies are accounted for as CEO?
Yes, but what I'm saying is, when this report was being prepared, and the response, I was not in office.
This you don't have to have a response. This report is for a given year.
Yes,
You are supposed to have a quarterly report.
Yes.
Of the financial activities of council.
But I did say that I don't have quarterly.
Do you
report.
get these things?
Yes.
You are supposed to have a report.
Yes, I didn't have the report.
Let me just show you.
Okay.
I have already read to you the dates.
Yes.
In relation to these transactions.
Okay.
For instance, you have the 6th of April.
Which page?
Page
Sorry.
50, yes.
Page 50.
The first transaction on the list, Annex 3, is 6th of April. Are you telling me you have to wait till December national audit for you to have the information?
Pardon?
Are you saying that for transactions, financial transactions in April, you cannot know, you don't have ways and means of knowing unless you wait for the national audit to come in December?
No. Maybe the way I am supposed to have these informations was not how to call it, functioning as it is supposed to, or it was not in place as it is supposed to.
Whose fault is that?
Well, I take part of the responsibility.
Not part, entirely.
Okay, I take entirely the responsibility. Okay.
I'm not saying the fraud.
Well, that's what you said, so we accept that. No problem.
Mr. Jallow?
Yes, please.
You will hear me out.
Yes.
Clearly, you will hear me out. I am not saying it's not also convenient for me to question you the way I am questioning you. But I will have to do it.
I very well know that.
Because sometime as well, someone will also probably question me regarding what I am doing right now. It's not the case.
All right, okay.
So I am saying that in April, if you had an effective administration, you would have detected all of this.
Yes, but I did answer that. I said there was no effective control system in place.
Yes. And that is why the amount has risen to $44 million plus. That's a lot of money.
Which they have not seen the.
Yes.
Okay.
If there is no evidence of double slip, there is no evidence of money being in the account.
Well.
And you, as a CEO, unfortunately, you have been mentioned to have been personally responsible for these things. In your mandate as a CEO on page 8, it says, you as a CEO, you are personally responsible for the due performance of the financial duties of council.
Yes.
The observance by employees of council and of all financial and accounting instructions.
Okay.
So that doesn't mean there is no other person who is responsible. It means you cannot also be excluded from the responsibility.
That's correct.
Do you get that?
I do.
It doesn't mean that when anyone commits fraud, you are the sole individual, sole person to be responsible. It means you cannot or may not be able to absolve yourself from responsibility.
That's correct, Council.
Do you understand that?
That's correct.
Now, furthermore, you see, you have stated, says we have also noted variances between postings in the cash book and lodgements to the bank.
On the same page?
Yes.
Page
2022.
Yes.
What will be in the cash book and what will be in the bank will be different. We have seen that several times. If you look at the cash books, we have had that exercise with the revenue collectors.
Yes.
What they will have in the cash book is different. In fact, in most cases, will be very much different. There will be variance with respect to what will be in the bank.
That's correct. That's correct.
And this you've known already. This you knew at the time, correct?
Well, I don't.
No. We have already discussed this issue. You had requested that these revenue collectors they pay back monies.
Yes.
So which means the monies they collect, they suppress. And if you suppress what you deposit, is not the same with what you declare. It's not the same with what you have collected. Correct?
Yes.
So you knew this already. This problem was within your knowledge?
Yes, I knew it when after the audit report. Sorry.
No. You knew that it had happened.
I knew it has happened through a report.
If you don't know that there were caste suppression, see, no one in the area council can know that there was caste suppression.
Yeah, but I came to know when there was a report.
When was this?
Well, I can't recall exactly, but
This
I came
report
to know.
is 2019. When did you start working for the area council?
Which area council?
Any area council. When was the first employment?
1979.
So you're telling me from 1979,
Yes.
all the way to 2018, you started knowing about caste suppressions in 2018 going forward? Is that your evidence?
What do you mean about that? I can't understand
You had
what
vast
you're
knowledge.
trying to.
I'm saying you are one of the most experienced, if not the most experienced employees of council.
There is no agreement about that.
Good. So you cannot say that the issues of caste suppression you don't know about.
But I am saying that I knew it through a report.
I'm telling you, it's a practice. It's an everyday activity.
That's fine. That's fine.
Do you agree?
I agree.
So which means even if it didn't happen at your time, let's say as CEO, this is something that you know has a tendency of occurring.
Yes.
And
but
so
I said it not once, not twice. That this has been a practice over the years.
Yes.
Yes. So
requiring extra caution from you as CEO.
Yes.
And extra implementation of accounting policies.
Yes.
To make sure you avoid this situation.
Okay. I accept that the weakness is on my side.
So how do you absolve yourself from this?
What do you mean by
that? Is the entire. This is the gist of the conversation. How would you convince anyone that my error were genuine, honest errors, when you have had wealth of experience in relation to caste suppressions?
I as a human being, I am not perfect. So it cannot be as just you are alluding to. I cannot take it that it is a deliberate act. I cannot take it that. I cannot take that.
We have, for example, 17th October 2019. You have the
which page?
Page 22. I'm just trying to show you the variances in the cash book and the bank accounts.
Sorry, let me just come in here. Mr. Jallow?
Yes, ma.
You will agree with me that you were aware that some collectors, let's say 80% of the collectors, were not doing their job as was required. Because you also have issues in implementing discipline and making sure that they follow due process.
Absolutely.
Is that not the case?
That's correct.
So you were aware that what they do with the revenues they collect is not correct.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
What you are failing to do before this commission is to really state your challenges as they were. Because you have stated just one challenge, that is lack of capacity. But what was the reason for the lack of capacity being sustained at the level of the councils? So that the lack of capacity became a cost effect to efficiency and prudent management of resources that are collected from taxpayers. Is that not the case?
That's correct.
So when council is saying you were aware, it is, you don't have to see the questions as him trying to situate the blame. For monies that you did not eat, we cannot say you ate the money. Because if we say you ate $20, we must justify and show proof that you ate the $20, right? But the lack of proper governance, we will situate that anomaly properly, right? But you will help us understand why you were making those mistakes, or those omissions, or those errors.
Correct. Correct.
Right?
Correct.
But if you fail to convince us, we will feel that it is a deliberate act, which will not be to your advantage. Is that not correct?
That's correct.
So if I could further go on to say, do you used to have a lot of political interference in the administration of local governance? With honesty, answer the question.
Not much.
Not much.
Yes, not much.
All right. Thank you. Council, you may proceed.
Yes, so back to the differences or the variance between the cash book and the bank accounts, the amount in the bank accounts. For instance, you have one Kasum Sane, the amount in the cash book, 24,500, amount in the bank, $23,000. The same goes to obviously in the Koli. You have, again, been to Manjang. So the difference altogether is $43,750. What they will record in the cash book, it will not be the same with what will be in the bank. You get it?
Which page is it?
22. Are you there?
22, okay. Yeah.
22.
Yeah.
Yes. Are you there? You have seen
Yeah, okay. Yes, Kasum Sane.
variances.
Yes.
It's a huge amount, 43,750. You turn to page 23 again as well. You have an issue of underlodgement, 42,750. Now, is that not what the bank reconciliations will seek to solve or clarify?
Of course.
Is this not the purpose of the bank reconciliation?
Very well.
One of the purposes. And you still refuse to do bank reconciliation?
Well, I am told that bank reconciliations are done.
No one need to tell you. You should know.
Well, I should know, but I have not had any
you
bank
should know
reconciliation.
if they are done or not. You are the CEO. You should know whether bank reconciliations have been performed or not. This would have been detected.
At my level, I am not aware. Maybe if the director of finance could provide, because I did ask him and he said bank reconciliations were prepared.
Mr. Jallow, to be honest, I don't know what to say.
I also don't know what you want me to say.
I don't want you to say.
I said as far as bank reconciliations are concerned, I have never had any report on bank reconciliation.
Why will you not have, Mr. Jallow? You are entrusted. You are part of the people that were entrusted with millions of dollars. Correct? Do you agree? Mr. Jallow?
Yeah, I'm with you. You see, okay, go ahead.
Again, your saving grace is that I am not saying that you have eaten this money yet. Right? It's more or less like your administrative inefficiencies, Mr. Jallow, where they exist. And again, it is my opinion based on what I see, and you don't have to agree with that. Do you understand that?
Go ahead.
Sir?
Okay.
Yes. The idea is just to have information, Mr. Jallow. We expect that after the commission, probably there'll be a more robust system. And you, more than anybody else, will be of a better aid to the commissioners in arriving and in trying to help. People learn from their own mistakes. Is that not the case?
Absolutely.
And so you provide support for any authority that is mandated to shape the system.
Yeah.
So if we hear from you, it's helpful. Don't take it to be any other thing.
I am not taking it for any other thing.
Yes,
but the fact of the matter is, Council, I am telling you what I know.
I know that.
and where I have a short, shortcoming or shortfall or whatever, I accept responsibility.
Yes.
Now, if it comes to other issues of the way forward,
yes,
or what is supposed to be done,
yes,
well, as you have just alluded to, maybe I have little ideas about that, but we are not to that yet. Now, what is happening here is,
right,
the ones I am aware of, you asked me, I said I am aware. I think that's all I can say. I am aware, or I am not aware, or it has not come to my notice. It should have come to my notice. I agree, but it has not come to my notice. So, what can I say more?
Nothing. Okay. Absolutely nothing, Mr. Jallow. Again, but we'll have to exhaust the report.
No problem.
That is the inconvenient part of it.
No problem. No problem.
Now, page 24.
Page 24.
There's an issue of unpresented cash book.
Unpresented cash book to the
yes.
audit. Yeah.
You have Alvaseni Koli.
Yeah, yeah.
The period is between January to
yes.
June 2019. This you were there as CEO.
January
to June 2019.
Yes.
You have Kasum Sane.
Yes, Kasum, yeah.
January to May 2019.
I was there.
You have Aliu Sane.
Yes.
January to December 2019.
Yes.
Yes. Now, the arrangement with the revenue collectors, how are they supervised?
How the revenue collectors are supervised? At the level of the council?
How are they supervised?
At the level of the council?
Yes.
Yes.
What structure was in place to make sure the revenue collectors, all the way to the highest office, there is no, you see, there is no room for fraud, or the room for fraud is minimal. Like the check and balances, one reports to the other, monies must be taken to the bank, you go to the cashier, and so on. Just explain to us the process you had on the ground to make sure that you minimize fraud.
From what I can recall, the process we put in place was collectors will collect, and as I said earlier on, they are directed to go and pay to the bank directly, except for that of the market. Now all other revenues are supposed to be banked. Now when they pay to the bank, they are required to bring both their cash book and the bank slip to my office for inspection. Then I will look. What I look at that level is whether what is in the cash book, what is posted in the cash book, the total is actually what is in the bank slip. Then I will initial both the cash book and the bank slip, and then it goes to the internal audit, and then finally for submission.
Do you think you have been doing that effectively? I wouldn't see the need even for you as CEO to even do that management. I mean, I will commend you if you are doing that, but I don't think it was also effective as well, because even as at the time you said you were doing that, we are seeing that still the monies that they collect, they don't deposit all.
Now here is where the problem now comes. If I were not doing that, it was going to be more than this.
No. If the law
could have been more than that.
No, the law did not say you should micromanage every revenue collector. I'm saying I am giving you thumbs up. If you were doing that, it means you were extra cautious regarding the collections. At least in my opinion.
Yes.
I didn't see where it has said that you must examine every revenue collector. Cash book. There's a system for it.
Yes, of course.
You have the internal auditor.
Yes.
You have the finance unit.
Yes.
They should do this.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, or the month, or the week, the finance director should report to you.
Yes.
And that is a more effective.
That should be the most effective way.
Exactly.
And normal way.
And so that you can also hold your finance director responsible.
Yes.
For actions that he didn't do the same way you have been held responsible right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that not the case?
That's correct. That's correct.
So, if you don't hold him responsible, and you have been held responsible now, you can only regret as to why you didn't hold them responsible.
I agree. That's correct.
Yes. So, I asked that question, or I brought up that topic, because you cannot have revenue collectors that would not present their cash books for audit for these periods, and nothing comes out of it. And this is the early period of your administration in 2019, correct?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know why and what eventually happened, but I don't know why he didn't produce his.
Now let me show you. It says your response as management. It says the cash books for the underlisted collectors are traced and are available for your review.
Yes. So which means afterwards it was provided for their inspection.
Going by the management response.
Yes.
Now let's look at the auditors for the comment.
Yes.
They disagreed. They said, contrary to the claim in the management response, only Al-Husseini Koli's cash book was provided. However, the used GTRs administered in his cash book was not presented. That's number one. This means that we could not still account for the collections made by him. The GTRs posted in his books are detailed in the table below, and the entire amount is $1,279,190, and that's just for Al-Husseini.
Okay.
You get it?
Yeah.
That's different from what Al-Husseini Koli has, what Kasum Sane has collected between January to May, and Ali Sane between January to December. It says millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Unaccounted for.
Yeah.
They cannot be accounted for.
Well,
no one knows where these monies have gone to.
What I can respond to this is the fact that when these things were happening, or when it was happening, I had no opportunity to know that this was happening.
This is the only point we always disagree. The idea that you don't have the opportunity, that's the only point that we always disagree, Mr. Jallow.
See, how about if it was not happening, we didn't have that checks and balances that is required to make sure that I am aware of everything that is happening. If that is absent,
it's not absent.
That was absent, and that is why I was not aware.
Why was it absent?
Because it was not available.
Who was supposed to make it available?
Well, we were supposed to make it available.
Don't say we. Who?
You want me? Okay, I say we. I was supposed to.
No.
No. It's either we or I.
Yes.
Oh, okay, all right. We have to settle that. It's either you accept that it's we, or you accept that it's I. If you don't accept we, then I say it's I.
Again, let me repeat. I don't have to agree with you, but you don't have to agree with me too.
Yeah, but it's either we or I.
No, again, let me repeat. I don't have to agree with you, Mr. Jallow.
Okay, all right.
You don't also have to agree with me.
Okay, that's all right. That's fine. That's fine.
What we are both supposed to do is to be honest and fair to each other. I give you what I see on the records, and you tell me your answer.
Yeah.
It is for the consumption of the commissioners.
But that's exactly
they know which one to take and which one to drop.
Yeah, that's what.
But don't feel that you are supposed to agree with me.
I'm not feeling.
Thank you very much. So we'll come back to it again.
Yeah, no problem.
Whose responsibility is it in the administration of the area council to make sure that those checks and balances are in place?
It is the responsibility of management.
Who is management?
Management is a composition of senior officials, of course, including myself.
Who are the most senior officers in management?
Well, as far as revenue is concerned,
yes,
it's the CEO, the director of finance. So
you are the head of management?
Well, of course.
So you are primarily responsible?
Yes.
Correct. But Jallow, these monies, they are just too much. Why? I didn't know how you were administering before 2018, but why just decide to not administer the area council in the most appropriate manner from 2018?
I was doing my level best.
It wasn't enough, sir.
Well, it's never enough.
No, but it wasn't even. I believe you could have done more than this.
Okay.
I'm sure you have done more than this before.
Well, you never know.
I want to believe that. Now we have talked about the issue of bank reconciliation on page 25.
Page 25.
You have spoken about that.
Yes, bank reconciliation. Yeah, we did.
It's very clear regarding the fact that they were hardly present.
Mm-hmm.
But page 28.
Page 28. Yes, please.
You have issues of underposting of main cash book. You see, I had told you the auditors, they have their own language sometimes. That during the period, an amount of $1,907,648 was received from various collectors. Now, of this amount, only $1,717,908 was posted, resulting in $189,740 in deficit. This happened on the 31st of December 2019.
31st of
December. I mean, you see the date there?
No, October.
October, I am sorry. 2019.
Yeah.
Yes? Go ahead.
Okay, it's an error on the part of the Director of Finance.
Okay. And you don't have a report. Since you don't have have a system where you will have a report?
No, I don't.
You will not know?
No.
Let me know, say you don't have a system, since you don't implement the financial manual.
I wish we had a system where
the system is there, is in the financial manual, but you don't implement it.
Exactly. It's one thing to have the rules in place, but it's another thing to go.
No, let's get it clear.
Yes.
The tools are there.
The tools are there. Very well.
The CEO did not implement it.
Yes.
Good. Now, the performance review. Let's see how this now impacts the activities of the area council. You're supposed to provide or spend 60% of your revenue towards development, correct?
60%.
Is it 60?
Yes, so the law said.
So the law says?
Yeah.
Or you don't want to agree with what the law says?
No, I agree.
You don't think it's a fair number?
That is the law. But I know it's there are challenges. That's why I said that's
tell us. That's why we are here.
Now the challenges are having that 60%.
You haven't?
To have that 60%.
Of what?
Of total revenue.
Yes. Why is it difficult? If the revenue is just $100,000, 60% of $100,000.
No, the challenges we have is, to be very frank, council, is that if you look at council and Brikama area council in particular, you would have realized that the overhead cost, which of course represents, or which is supposed to represent that 40%, is always a problem to reduce.
How do you know this?
Yeah, because if you look at the overhead cost, that's what I'm saying.
How do you know this?
What do you mean by how do I know it?
You know why I asked that?
Yes, please go ahead.
Because I am wondering how you will have a fair knowledge of the financial status of Brikama Area Council without observing the financial manual. You will only know this with accuracy that it is probably impossible to achieve the 60% because of the X, Y, and Z if you had followed the financial manual and the relevant laws. You can't account for the money of council.
You did ask me what is the challenge, and that's what I am explaining.
Okay, now you go ahead.
Now, if you're talking about the manual, it's a completely different animal, completely.
Okay.
All right. The regulation says A, B, C, and that's what we are supposed to follow.
All right.
Now you have your own challenges as to why you are not following it, or you are not able to follow it.
Now
I think that's what you have asked.
Good. Now let's take it, and then I will come back to my follow-up comment.
Okay.
Go ahead. What are the challenges?
Yes. What I was explaining is, if you look at the overhead cost of council, that makes it more difficult, for councils to have that 60-40% as required by law. Yes. Like in the case of Brikama Area Council, overhead cost is just too much.
Give us an example.
What example again can I give you?
Mr. Jallow, you were the CEO. I want to understand.
No, what example can I give you? Overhead cost is overhead cost. I cannot go into the details. This overhead cost is about salaries and,
Mr. Jallow, calm down.
It's not about that. But you ask me questions which I cannot understand because I explained to you.
I know.
Maybe we are not on the same level.
Yes. See, the idea is to be on the same page.
Yes, you are a legal person and I'm an administrator.
Sorry, Mr. Jallow.
Okay, go ahead, ma.
I really don't want to interrupt the questions and your evidence. What I believe the questions being asked are fair questions. Where they are not fair, I will intervene to say that they are not fair. if council wants you to elaborate on what you mean by overheads, I believe it is only fair and just to give examples of the sort of overheads you are referring to, because not everybody will understand the terms, the accounting terms that have been used. So for the ordinary person to understand what you are saying is when you elaborate on what you are saying. Am I not correct?
You are correct. You are correct, ma'am.
So please, let's answer the questions and we stop the argument.
Thank you very much.
Because it is really going to waste our time, and we want to be done with you, hopefully by today. And we do not want to drag the questioning for more than is necessary.
Okay.
Because we are not here for a fishing expedition, and we are not here to get you to accept or admit things that you have not done. All right?
Thank you.
All right. Please answer the question.
The answer is overhead costs. To reduce overhead costs is always a challenge.
Overhead costs.
And the overhead
entail
costs comprise of salaries and other administrative expenses.
Example.
Well, fueling, apart from salaries, allowances, fuel, administrative materials, and so forth and so forth.
Yes, continue. Council.
You think it's normal to spend more than $1 million on fuel?
Yes, it depends on the circumstances.
The circumstances.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Now, you will provide us with the financial statement for 2018 and 19, and then we can go through your income and expenditure.
Yes, I think I had already noted it yesterday.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
So that we will leave that part for now.
Yes.
Probably when you come back, you can explain more regarding your income and expenditure, and you may convince the commissioners as to why it was difficult to reach 60%. Is that not the case?
Yes,
are you more convenient with that?
I think I have already explained that. It cannot be anything more than that.
I am now asking you. I'm not now questioning. I'm asking that you provide the statement for 2018 and 19.
Okay. Okay.
And you will run us through your expenditure.
Okay. No
for 2018.
Okay.
And 2019, and the income for 2018 and 19.
Okay.
And you will now tell us why it was difficult to achieve 60%. You understand that?
Yeah.
All right. And so we will leave that issue for now until you come back. So we go on to other issues. For your performance review, the audit will always also will take two folds, the financial and the performance review as well. What you have done for Brikama Area Council, the state of affairs with respect to the life and livelihoods of the people of the Brikama Area Council. Correct?
Correct.
We had the issue of the market, the Lamin market. We found no operational toilet at the market. Let's just stop with that. With all the money you make and all the money that is taken from the people.
That's correct.
That the vendors rely on close neighbor for toilet facilities. That the market committee members indicated that several requests were made to the council through the council representatives for the restoration of the facility without any success. Was that communicated to you?
Well, yes. I think I can recall that situation.
Kindly increase your voice.
Yes, I think I can recall that situation. Unfortunate situation at Lamin Market.
Okay.
Yes.
What is the use of these committees that you have?
Well, the committees were not that much functional.
Functional. Why?
This is at the level of the councillors. They form. No,
are you not part of these committees? Are you not a de facto member of every committee?
Ad hoc. Sorry, how to call it again? Ex officio member.
Ex officio. I'm
Yes,
sorry,
yes.
not de facto.
Ex officio.
The mistake is mine.
Yes.
Yes, I'm just being too legalistic. De facto and de jure is different. Yes, you're a member.
Yes, I am an ex officio
Ex officio member of every
committee.
committee.
Yes.
So and what's your role?
My role is to be there to observe and to advise.
Observe and advise.
Yes.
So you are a full-time member of these committees.
Yes.
Now, but they are not effective.
They were not effective.
And
They were
why
not.
do you think was the main problem that these committees were not effective? What do you think? Sorry.
Well, I know for certain that commitment was lacking
From?
from the members.
So, is it the case that the councillors were not representing their people very well?
Yes, to some extent.
You think that after the celebrations of the victory that they have in relation to contesting the elections, they are now more or less satisfied with that? They don't really represent their people very well in the area council when they come over.
Yes, at the level of the area council.
Yes.
At the level of the area council, I take it that they were not very active. They
Yes,
were not
because
as active as they were supposed to be.
Yes, because if you don't have effective committees, it only means that they are just very much concerned about the bread and butter that they receive. That is why they go and request for the votes or solicit or seek for votes from the people. But then, was there any time that the area council ceased or stopped receiving revenue from people?
Stop receiving revenue from people.
Yes, any period, like even a month or a week, that the area council did not collect revenue from the people, even a day.
I can't recall.
Yes.
I don't think so.
And this goes to all the area councils. There is no single day that revenue will not come to the
Yes.
coffers.
Of course.
But do you know why I asked that?
No.
You should. Because if there cannot be an error in revenue collection, you know there's this old saying that some things are constant, like rain and tax, that people pay tax every single day. But you and I live in the neighborhood, and I'm sure you have had people complaining that they always come here and collect revenue, but even suñ mbalit yi sax gars yi duñ ko dee jël si, right? Correct? You think it's fair?
It's
That
not fair.
while
if all those people who are complaining are paying their taxes as usual or as normal, because it's in two folds. I agree with the one.
Go ahead. No, I want you to finish that statement.
Yes,
if all those people are paying their taxes, then what?
I agree with what you have just said.
No, first finish the question, the statement. If all those people are paying their taxes, then
It's not fair.
You will never have everyone pay their taxes.
That's not what I'm saying. I want to respond to what you have said.
Yes.
I agree with you.
Yeah. But the idea is it is really unimaginable even for the area council not to even have a toilet when millions are collected from the people. There is a week's or a day's collection or a week's collection to fix these toilets. Is that not the case?
Well, it could be.
No, it's not. It could be. You said you agree or you disagree.
No, you said a day's collection. I don't.
Or
know.
a week's collection.
Well, I don't know.
Or a month's collection.
All that I know is the council should have provided a toilet for them.
And the means were there to fix a toilet.
Yes, that I cannot dispute.
Exactly. That's the issue. Same thing with Busumbala as well.
Okay.
There's a newly constructed toilet facility at the market. The two compartments were found to be locked. There was no working standpipe in operation at the market. The market vendors resort to fetching consumable water from inside the toilet. The vendors also complained of poor structure of the market soakaway, which constantly kept overflowing, expelling foul water into the market. Busy taking money from people, but can't fix their problems. Correct? Is that a correct statement?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. And you have the page 33, the issue of dump site as well. At Tabanana dump site, there was still evidence of indiscriminate dumping as well as encroachment all over the space. You have also, these problems are just too much. You can't even have an ICT policy on page 34. Do you see that?
Yeah, I do.
There was no training program for your people. Page 36.
That's correct.
I've seen on page 40, weak control in the payroll system.
Sorry, before you go to the payroll.
Yes.
What I want to find out, Mr. Jallow.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a member of the administration, the Land Administration Board?
Yes, at one point before its dissolution. Or before, is it before I left? Or anyway, I was a member. But eventually it was dissolved.
When was it dissolved?
I can't recall exactly, but it was dissolved. It was dissolved at one point.
Can you provide us with information? Yes, the Land Administration Board.
That is at the level of the governor's office. The governor is the chair, and all correspondents are at the level of the governor's office.
But you are a member, the council's CEO is a member?
Yes, it's a member, just like...
Is that not board, is the board not the body that transitioned from the board to the current advisory committee that is situated at the governor's office? You don't have currently, as we speak, is there no advisory committee that is situated at the governor's office?
If I understand, the advisory committee, as provided for in the Local Government Act, is the Technical Advisory Committee.
Yes.
That is different from the Land Administration Board. The Technical Advisory Committee is comprised of department, regional department heads. You know, of course, chaired by the governor. Okay. Now, for the land administration, it was the CEO.
Different.
Yes, they are different.
Yes. Now, on the issue of the Tabanani Dome site.
Yes.
Given the fact that the council is working in close tandem with the alcalos within those areas, and you have realized that there have been irregular dumping and encroachment in the area, why didn't you take up this issue with the alcalos with a view to stopping the encroachment, knowing fully well that where people settle and you want to uproot them from that settlement, government has to intervene to compensate them or to find an alternative settlement, when in the first place they have been issued documents by officials of the same government, that is the alcalos, knowing that those areas have already been designated. Why didn't you take up these issues with the Ministry of Lands?
With regards to the Tambana Dome site, I think there are a lot of issues.
What are the issues? Tell us what are
the issues.
Yes,
I'm coming, please. I'm coming. My understanding is that when I came in there, that dump site was not officially, recognized as, an official dumping site.
Yes.
People were just going there to dump discriminately.
Yes.
Both, of course, including the council and private cleansing service providers. Now, at one point, we took steps. I can remember I went there with the Select Committee of the National Assembly. I can't remember exactly, but I went there with them, just to, for them to have a first-hand information with regards to what's happening in Tambana. Because as you have just alluded to, the issue of encouragement was definitely a concern. And up to, as we speak, still my understanding is that nothing has been done.
And you think the council ought to sit and cross its hands and not do anything about that, even if it means taking those alcalos to court to stop issuing land ownership titles to places that have been designated for utility for everybody?
Yes, of course. I think the council has a responsibility. But again, in addition, I could recall at one point, as a result of that, we were trying to avoid being so involved to an extent where we applied for...
So involved because of what reason?
Because managing the dump site itself is a problem. And now it's worse.
But it is your responsibility, because these are your primary core responsibilities.
Yes, that's what
to
I'm...
provide for suitable areas where this dump can be dumped. One. Two, to make sure that the environment is protected.
Yes.
It's your responsibility.
Yes, yes.
One of the core responsibilities that you have as a council.
Yes.
We
were collaborating with the National Environment Agency in that regard. And as I was just trying to explain,
yes.
At some point we went further to apply for a landfill.
Yes.
And we were given one.
Yes.
Between Jambanjeli and Sanyang. Immediately after Jambanjeli on your left, you would have a quarry. That area, the measurements are there. That was given to the council. Because that was towards the end of my tenure in office. I don't know how much, how they are using it. But with regards to Tambana, to be candid, definitely council should have done more to make sure that, in collaboration with the Ministry of Local Government. Mm-hmm. But not much has been done to stop.
So it is the failure of the council and the Ministry of Land.
Yes, of course.
Not to take action and allow people to do what they want.
Absolutely.
And then end up having to shift blame game between the two institutions.
I don't think there could be any blame game about that. It is their direct responsibility. See, the responsibility of the council.
Correct. This is what we want to hear. Because
if you don't
take, even if it means council taking government to court to make sure that this is stopped, it should have been done.
Absolutely. I don't know of now, because I have seen, still dumping is going on there. Garbages are coming from the greater Banjul area, and going to Tambana. So I don't know.
Is the council in Coast is aware of the cadastral map that the Ministry of Lands have, which have designated each area or jurisdiction as to what is supposed to be provided for, particularly on community facilities like car parks, like dump sites, like hospitals, schools? You don't have that at the council
no, at the level
to
of
make sure that you protect those areas that have been designated for those particular purposes?
We don't have that. We don't have that.
And you did not ask?
Yes, I think we didn't ask as well.
Thank you. Yes, Honorable Sila.
Thank you. Let's give a genesis of the Tambana dump site.
Yes.
Tambana was created so that we close Mile 2 and Bakote. Mile 2 was supposed to be a transition point, and then Bakote was also going to be a transition point. The essence was that we were going to build an incinerator at Tambana, and the incinerator will generate electricity from domestic waste. That was how it started. Now, studies were made, and I remember the incinerator was costing about 450,000 euros, and it was supposed to be generating 4 tons of garbage per day so that it can generate electricity. It has a lot of benefits. It generates electricity from domestic waste. It can provide hot water for the communities. What is being burnt out of the machine could be used as fertilizer, and also we could also install some pipes to extract gas from the garbage, because everything you are seeing burning out there is gas. So there was a sense, there were all these benefits, but again, funding became a problem, and eventually I worked in these things. I remember some 6 years ago, we had a discussion with they are called Bulunda, these elderly people of Brikama, and they were raising the alarm that Tambana should not be designated as a dump site because the land belongs to them. Mm-hmm. And so there was a lot of stiff resistance when the project didn't just start and take off. Mm-hmm. So it was a dump site, and then it was not planned. So it was supposed to, when you go on site, it has to have waste, the separation of waste, where you have clinical waste, domestic waste, commercial waste, etc., etc. Commissioner Fall knows about this project. But unfortunately, there was no funding for the project. People started dumping, and it was difficult to manage because the tools and strategies and the planning was not there. So this has led to the failure of Tambana, and it is going to be very, very difficult to reactivate it without having adequate funding. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Jallow.
Yes, ma'am.
Looking at the sort of revenue Brikama Area Council generates, the car park fees you have, the royalties that are paid to council as we speak, you think it would not have been prudent to enter into partnerships that you could be funding this kind of project continually through the revenues you collect?
Absolutely.
Is that not possible?
Absolutely. Very well. Very well. Very well.
Because the insight into the budget of Brikama is up to around $700 to $800 million is revenue generatable, if not far more than that.
Absolutely.
From Brikama. Is that not correct?
Correct.
From $700 to $8 million per annum.
That's correct. That's correct.
Is that not a fairly conservative figure of revenue generatable in the Brikama Area Council area?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
Very well. Very well.
You believe or you think?
No, I believe.
You
that,
agree?
I believe Brikama Area Council has not.
So funding should not have been a problem if
Yes.
the funds are judiciously collected and spent.
And spent absolutely very well.
Thank you.
I agree.
Council, you may proceed.
Now, Mr. Jallow.
Yes,
Yes,
Council.
you want to say something, sir?
Who? No.
On your statement of the 19th of April 2024,
Yes. 19.
second page, you spoke about the issue of Wandifar Drame. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
He said on the issue of interest payment to one Wandifar Drame, I know that Mr. Wandifar Drame is a staff of community development. He conducted a training to the ward development committees.
Yes.
Village
Yeah.
development committees and market committees on public awareness on waste
Yeah.
management for a clean environment.
Yes.
I know that two vouchers were raised for the interest. The first is $113,185. The second is $131,695 respectively. What can you tell us about this training, and why were monies paid to him?
As I stated in my statement, Wandifa is then the senior community development for West Coast.
Yes.
We were working hand in glove with them.
Yes.
And as usual, in the context of our aim decentralization,
Yes.
We have that relationship and partnership.
Yes.
That is at the level of both the ministry, who is our father, our parent father.
Did you have a partnership agreement?
No.
Then why are you referring to it
No,
as
because
partnership?
We see the Department of Community Development as our technical arm.
Okay.
In conceptualizing, the decentralization issues.
Yes.
To an extent where,
Yes.
when it comes to training, of communities.
Yes.
We take that responsibility.
That's good. Now, was Wandifa sent to you by the ministry?
Excuse me?
Was he sent to you or referred to you by the ministry?
Was he?
Sent to you
No,
for this purpose by the ministry, or did you just speak to him directly?
No, not the ministry. It's at the level of the council.
I don't know whether we are on the same page. You engage his services.
Yes.
Was it done through the ministry, or was it done privately?
No, it was, I think it was between the two institutions. It was not a private thing.
We have to be sure.
Okay, in fact, for this particular...
If it was done between the two institutions, then you must have documentations to suggest you wrote to the ministry requesting for a particular assistance, and they write back to you and tell you what they can do for you, and then everything has to be documented.
Can you please allow me to find out more about this payment? Because
Okay.
All that I can remember is that he was paid, in 2 installments. But I need to make clarification on this, please.
Do that when you come back. Yeah. We need to know that, because apparently I don't see why a government employee will be paid almost $300,000 if he is just performing his. And you in fact raised the impress in his name.
Pardon?
The impress was raised in his name. You call it an impress?
Yes.
Was that the normal procedure?
Well, please allow me to come back.
No, but these things we can discuss it.
Well,
no, you will come back. But the idea that you could raise an impress in Wanifa's name, Wanifa Drame, and he's not an employee of council, that we can discuss, because that we have the financial manual and it talks about impressed. Why raise it in his name?
Maybe we put it in his name wrongly. It should have been, if at normal circumstances, it should have been in the name of his institution.
Who were the beneficiaries?
Who were they?
The beneficiaries of these monies?
I think market committee. There were committees. Anyway, I can't recall exactly.
So but you want to be given time?
Yes, that's why I really want to. I really want to recall this properly.
Please.
Yes, I will. Inshallah.
You will be given time.
I will. Inshallah.
But again, Mr. Jallow, you have these things in your statement.
Huh?
You have these things in your statement.
Yes, I do.
It was raised by the investigators.
Yes.
You wrote something about these statements.
Yes, but all that I wrote is on the issue of impress payment to one Wandifa. I know that Wandifa Drame is a staff of the community development. He conducted training to the ward development committees, village development committees, and market committees on public awareness on waste management for a clean environment. I know that 2 vouchers were raised for the impress payment. So I need to elaborate on what actual training did he do and to whom.
Please come back on this issue.
Yes. Yes, Mr. Jallow, I just want to remind you that your handing over notes, which is exhibit LGC/MSJ/BKAC/004, at page 3 of your own report, when you were handing over, you have indicated clearly that you were in receipt of the management letter of the NAO. So all of these things were contained in the management letter. We will give you time, but I just want you to be mindful of the fact that you are aware of all of this, because it is also contained in your report when you were handing over as CEO. All right? Thank you. Council, you may proceed.
There was an issue again, just the 4th paragraph on page 2 of your statement. The issue regarding the simultaneous payment of 1/6 and honorarium on August 2020. He said, I cannot recall exactly what payment was it, and also I did not understand the ground for the payment. However, since the payment involves councillors, I believe that the request must have been passed through the office of the chairman. The councillors entitled for 1/6?
Are they entitled to?
1/6.
1/6, I don't think it's in the regulations.
You don't think it's in the regulation?
No.
Then why will you authorize payment?
Well, based on humanitarian grounds.
I don't understand that.
Well, they requested for it.
So every request must be granted?
And they all agreed, and they are the legislatures. they agreed that, that payment be done to them. So
They agreed it has to be done to them.
yes, they all signed the voucher.
So when they decide that you have to pay each of them $100,000 every month, you will sign it.
Well, no, not that cannot be 100,000.
Why?
100,000.
Why is that?
Well, in the first place, the funds will not be available.
It must be.
In the first place, the funds will not be available for 100,000 each.
So my point is not that. My point is, regardless of the legality of the request, you will still grant it. You will still just sign checks.
Well, they requested for it, and they all signed, and we had no choice but to pay them.
Your what?
They requested for it. They all signed for receipt as receipt, and we had no choice but to pay them.
What was the honorarium for? With respect to the councillors?
No, I can't recall.
Can you come back? When you come back next week, we will give you 1 week. Can you note that down? We need full details regarding this payment.
Yes. Mr. Jallow?
Yes, ma'am.
You've just told the commission that you had no choice but to pay the 1/6 to the elected councillors.
Was it 1/6?
Was it 1/6 council?
Yes, you said 1/6.
That is
An honorarium.
an honorarium.
Okay.
You said you had no choice but to pay. What do you mean when you said you had no choice but to pay?
Well, if they are the council.
They are the council.
Yes, all of them together.
They are elected by the people.
Yes, they are elected by the people, and they form the council.
And you are afraid that...
No, not a matter of afraid.
No, let me finish, Mr. Jallow. Because I want to understand why you said you had no choice. And I said because they are elected council. And my question is, these people were elected because they were trusted to come and execute a mandate at the council.
Correct.
To provide for the needs of the people that they requested that they will serve them at the level of the council.
Correct.
And the council had rules and regulations and is guided by laws.
Correct.
So do you think it was appropriate for you to have sidestepped the law to grant them their request? Not to comply with the law, but rather to concede to a demand that is not lawful? You think that was correct?
The chief executive officer is answerable to the council, and I just take it that, since they are the council and they needed this through the chairman, well, that's why I said I had no choice.
No, but now I am asking you, now knowing maybe you knew the law but you forgot, or there is another reason as to why you said you do not have a choice but to pay. But do you think it was correct to have paid the 1/6 and honorarium to councillors that are not entitled to be paid?
Going by the rules, well, I don't think that was correct.
You don't think that was correct?
That was correct, no.
Then why did you make the payment?
I did it, well, as a result of circumstances. Circumstances in the sense that, we just did it to assist them as well for financially.
But council is not supposed to be Father Christmas. Is that not correct?
That's correct.
Because these are monies that you collect from taxpayers,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And they must, even if they have requested, you would have referred them to the law that your hands are tied.
Yes.
And you cannot give them the 1/6 because your hands are tied.
By
Was
law.
that not the correct
By law.
explanation and justification for not paying them
Yes, of
than
course.
the one you have given?
Yes, yes, ma.
And the fact that there could have been, I stand to be corrected by you. The fact that the consideration of the fact that they are elected by the people and they should be above the law to do what they want, is that not an absolute contravention of what the law stands for and what you as staff are supposed to stand for when dealing with elected officials?
That's correct.
Because they cannot have a right to request you to do things that are against the law that they swore to protect and uphold. Is that not correct?
That's correct.
So why should you fear the elected people?
No, it's not out of fear. It was just out of assistance.
Then I stand to be corrected, and I accept your statement that it's not out of fear.
Yeah, it's not out of fear.
But for whatever consideration, you said you taught.
Yeah.
So what was the motive of or the consideration of paying them, knowing fully well that the law doesn't allow you to do that?
Yes, just to assist them financially.
Yes, to assist them.
Yes, to assist them.
So it was your discretion.
Yeah, at that point. It
At
was
that
my
point.
discretion. Yeah.
Yes. So you take responsibility.
I take responsibility.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Council, you may proceed.
Don't forget to come back with the necessary information
Okay.
regarding this issue,
Okay.
so that we will leave it at that
Okay.
until you come back. But then I think we have time. Briefly, we have the procurement compliance review GPPA for 2019.
Page.
Before you go to that GPA issue, during your tenure, you handed out to 5 wards some projects, and you named it ward committee projects, and you gave each ward 500,000. And were you able to assess the implementation of those projects, and what can you tell us?
Now, the reason for that 500,000 to those wards was
No, let's just first establish so that we have the evidence clear.
But
You paid 500,000 to each of these 5 wards.
wards, yes, we did.
Yes. And did you recall what
Yes.
is the name of these wards?
No, I can't recall the wards, their names, but I know Gunjur.
Yeah.
Gunjur is one.
Yes.
Brikama, the ward, I think somewhere around Dashlame is one.
Brikama, there is a specific ward. So you know Brikama is big.
Yes, yes.
Is it Suba ward?
Yes, I think it's Suba, exactly, Suba
Yes.
ward.
And Gunjur? Yes.
And Gunjur.
Yes. That is 3. 2. Sorry.
Two.
Remaining 3.
I can't recall
You
the
have
others.
Katong ward.
Katong.
You have Bullock
Yes, Block.
and Jiboro.
Yes. Because
And these are all constructions except for one, which is Bullock, right?
yes, Block was a milling machine, I think.
Yes. So
The Gunjur.
So is there evidence of those purchases? That is, for the block, for
Yes.
the block, was the machine purchased?
Yes, it was purchased. In fact, I can remember.
So the constructions of these sheds, which are market sheds, and except for the Gunjur ward, which was for the supply,
Of
water supply
water
and
supply.
gardening.
Yes. That one was also completed.
was also completed.
That one was
for
completed.
the Gunjur ward, was it a borehole that was
Borehole, yes, of course.
that was erected?
Yes.
And the gardening, what was provided?
Pardon, the Gunjur one.
Yes.
Yes, it was just, an overhead tank, and, I think few pipes. When the last time I went there, and then it was already completed.
So it was actually just for water supply
Yes, for water supply.
and not for gardening.
No, I can't recall, but I know it's
So
for
please find out, to be exact, to know, the 500 that you gave them, was it just expended on the provision of the borehole or something extra? And for the market sets that were provided for in Brikama Suba Ward and Katong and Jiboro, what is it? Was it? Can you explain to us what sort of set was built in those market areas?
Yeah, that of Brikama Dasilami was not completed.
And no, it didn't indicate here. The Brikama Suba Ward.
Suba Ward.
Yes.
Yes,
It's
that,
different from the
yeah,
Dasilami.
sorry, I'm referring to the Suba Ward.
Yes.
The Suba
it was not completed.
until
you left.
Until I left, it was not completed.
What about the Katong
Jiboro.
shed? No, the Katong. Let's go to Katong first.
Katong, I can't recall until if I confirm.
Okay, check.
Yes,
by the time you left, whether
I have already,
it was
I have
completed.
already noted it.
Okay.
Now Jiboro, I can recall that one was completed. I was at the inauguration.
Okay. Thank you. Council, you may proceed.
Now, we are done with the 2019, Mr. Jallow.
Thank you.
The other issues are just when you come back.
Okay.
We discuss the loans.
Okay.
Don't forget, we still have need to mention regarding the loans.
The loans.
Yes, you wrote them. You wrote your first appearance yesterday. I think you loan issue.
Okay. The overdraft and loan.
Overdraft,
okay.
loans.
Okay.
And all other issues that you have been asked to provide more information on.
Yes.
And we'll give you a date for next week.
Okay.
We'll give you a date next week. Do you understand that?
All right. Okay.
Now, just tell us briefly how the procurement activities were conducted in Brikama Area Council.
I think I did mention the fact that we didn't have a procurement. I don't think we have a plan. So
okay. For 2018, no plan.
Yes, we were just
2019, no plan.
Yes, we were just procuring based on demand.
On demand, that would be risky, is it not?
It is.
You cannot really account for or spend wisely the funds of the council if you're doing that.
That's correct.
And sometimes you may end up trying to purchase something without, in fact, really needing it.
Absolutely, that's very right.
That's the whole purpose of the plan, and it has to be in line with the budget.
Yes, of course.
As well.
Of course, very well.
So this explains why it'll be difficult to maintain the 60% development, because then the accounts of council are not really being followed.
It forms a significant part of the reasons why.
Yes. So now you don't have a procurement plan. That's one, which means all other things will not follow.
Yes.
So if you don't have a procurement plan, then there will not be market surveys.
Yes, that's true.
Right?
That's true.
But let's talk about the unit. Who were in the procurement unit in Brikama Area Council for the period 2018 and 19, and what were their role at the time?
I think, if I can recall, is Mr. Sidu Kunta.
Mr. Kunta, Sidu Kunta.
Sidu Kunta as manager.
Okay. Go ahead.
And then there is also Alex Mendy.
Alex Mendy.
Yes. There is also our Ture.
Our Ture.
Yes. Yes, these are the three I can recall, and I think they
were they the only people that were involved in procurement?
Well, yes.
So, and what is your relationship with the contracts committee? You had a contracts committee?
Yes, we do.
Was it really functional?
Yes, it was.
Are you sure?
Well, yes, of course.
You sit in the contracts committee?
Yes, as the chairman.
As the chairman?
Yes.
Were you part of every decision that was taken in 2018 and 19?
Well, any project of the council,
yes,
I am part of it.
Now, in 2019, you had made procurement the value of $8,029,279.28 bututs. Will this be a fair amount?
But on what?
Procurement.
Procurement on what?
General value
okay.
of procurement.
Right.
For all goods or services you've procured,
yes,
that's the amount.
It depends on the
8 million.
It depends on the circumstance because fuel alone.
It's more than $8 million.
Yes, fuel alone is a lot of money that we spend on fuel.
That's what I'm saying. Fuel alone is more than $8 million. It's far more.
Okay, good.
You have 12 months in the year.
Yeah.
We know you spend more than $1 million on fuel a month.
Absolutely.
So for GPPA to write that you have spent $8,029,279 is 28 butus. That would not be accurate.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I want a response from you.
GPPA said?
The procurement for 2019, the compliance report for 2019 indicates on the table that the total value of procurement that you have conducted in 2019 is $8,029,279 is 28 bututs.
If it is generalized, then I don't think it's realistic.
Yes, it's not realistic.
I don't think so. Maybe they should have specified. I'm not sure whether it's even fuel alone.
It is not realistic at all because...
But if they say all, then I don't think that is realistic.
Mr. Jallow, you cannot say you don't think it's realistic because if we take you to the budget, you will know that the money spent on fuel far exceeds this 8 million, which is the correct position.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
You may proceed.
Chair, as it's already 9 minutes, do we say it's a convenient point?
Yes, I have some questions. I have some questions. Before one. And what I want to find out is the fact that the 2019 audit report did indicate that you use some expenditures and classify that expenditure as capital expenditure. How is that possible? Let me take the question back because my mic was off. In the 2019 report, it highlighted, and this is an occurrence in 2018, that you use particular expenses and classify them as capital expenditures, even whereas you knew these were not capital expenses.
Okay.
Why did you allow the finance director to do that?
My response to that is in two folds.
Yes.
I don't want to deviate from the fact.
Yes.
One is the fact that we find it sometimes a little bit critical to identify what is capital, what we refer to as capital, and what we see as capital and what is supposed to be recurrent. That's one. The other part is the fact that sometimes we just do it deliberately, all right, just to satisfy the requirement of 60/40.
And which is wrong?
We are completely wrong.
Now, your first part of answering the question, I don't seem to agree with you, because if you tell me you cannot differentiate as CEO what the capital expenditures are and what the recurrent expenditure is, which you have clearly demonstrated here some few minutes ago, your understanding of your overheads, because that is your recurrent expenditure. Is that not it?
Yes.
So you have demonstrated your in-depth understanding of the fact that the reason why you could not meet the 60/40 is because your recurrent expenditure is higher than your capital expenditure. And as such, that is what created the problem for you to execute the projects as was required by the law. Is that not?
That's correct. That's correct.
So now, for you now to tell us that you don't understand, you have a challenge of understanding your capital expenditure and your recurrent expenditure. Is not correct.
No, I don't think it's a matter of not understanding, but it's a matter of argument. you know.
No,
Yeah.
Mr. Jallow, no, it cannot be a matter of argument. Your understanding of what your recurrent expenditure is and your understanding of what your capital expenditure is very clear. Or you do not, it was not clear to you? Is that what you are telling the commission?
Maybe in my explanation, you didn't hear my explanation. I said, you know, our basis for doing it,
yes,
you can look at it from 2 points.
Okay.
One is maybe you would want see it as, you know, not having difficulty in identifying it. But the fact of the matter is that we just do it to make sure that we fulfill the 60-40%. And I think that
is now you are getting it because
maybe you didn't hear me, ma.
Yes, no, it's you that is not clear, Mr. Jallow.
All right, okay,
because if you don't put your evidence very clearly, it's what we take from you that you will say is the gospel truth because that is your evidence.
Okay.
So, but your latter part of your explanation, that is you do it deliberately, is what explained the situation.
Okay, thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
You knew that if you don't do that to doctor the documents, you will not meet the requirement of the law.
That's correct.
And so you had to do that to meet the requirements of the law.
That's correct.
Thank you. So I think it's a convenient point to stop.
When am I supposed to come back, council?
When we close for the day,
Chair.
we will let you know. Yes, we are going for break when we come back.
But I can disappear now.
No, we would discharge you at the end of the day. When we tell you we have discharged you, you know, you will go. All right?
Okay, ma.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right. So we'll come back after lunch break.
Okay, sorry.
We may rise.